Hi guys, Ready Set RC back again today with the Axial Exo Terra Buggy. This is the ready to run version, guys. Rather than doing a traditional unboxing, because I did buy this used, we're just going to run through this really quick. I just want to show you guys the difference between the kit version and the ready to run version. This ready to run version came pretty good. It came in a pretty good state. The RC came in fairly good condition. I did test it out. It works. It works actually pretty good. I'm going to use this not as a shelf queen. I really wanted to use this as a runner. I posted this up on Instagram when I made the purchase, and I had a couple people ask me about this car, and they weren't familiar with the Exo Terra Buggy. It's been discontinued for quite some time now. It's one of those sought after RCs if you can ever find it out there anywhere. So definitely I wanted to, kind of educate those guys who are new to RC or are just not familiar with this one, and just show you guys exactly what it's all about. So here we are, guys. Anybody who follows me on Instagram, I've posted these two RCs on my Instagram page already. Kind of was just poking fun and saying, hey, which one do you guys prefer, the kit or the ready to run version? This is the kit version of the Exo Terra Buggy. This is the ready run version of the Buggy. This comes with an interior. I just never, just to get into my electronics, never really felt like painting it up and putting it in there. So I just left the interior out. With this one, it comes with some extra bits and pieces. That's also the other part of this that was pretty good with the purchase. The guy gave me all the bag of bits that came with this Buggy. So I pretty much have every bit that comes with Buggy also included in this purchase, which is pretty good. I can't believe that he gave me that bag of bits as well. What I also believe that this RC came with at one point in time may have been a Dean's connector. I think I'm seeing an EC3 that's on this Buggy. And that may be another thing that he may have swapped out, was the connector on this. From what you guys can see, the tires are identical on them. I believe these are the Dynapros that were on both of these Buggies that are on here. The wheels are actually the same exact wheels, except for these are black and these are chrome. I believe they were Method wheels that were on here. I can't recall, but I believe that that's what was on these at some point in time. In here, I'm running the Castle Creations short course setup on this. A little bit more power than this version. I think this is running a 2900 kV motor that's on this one. I want to believe this is somewhere in the ballpark of 3300 kV. Don't get that I can't remember. It's been some time since I did this setup on this RC. I originally was running Proline shocks in the front and rear. Did not have the stock ones. I actually had to modify the Proline shocks to fit on here, and they blew out. And I removed them and I put the stock shocks back on here just because I like the fitment on here. This thing is heavily modded up. I got STRC running on the hubs. I have RPM arms on the back and the front. There are metal chassis supports throughout this Buggy. There's actually a metal spur gear that I'm running on here, and this one's a plastic spur gear. I don't believe there's going to be any issues with running a plastic spur gear on this, but that was one of the things that I wanted on the kit version as I was building it up. The cosmetic stuff, as you guys can see, is the light bar on the top. I believe that may be in the bits. I didn't really check for that. That could be in the bits on this one. This came standard this way. I actually have lights running in the front and also on the rear on here. There was a faux engine that was on the back side off of this too. Both have metal axles on there. The camber and toe is adjustable on the kit version. All this is fixed on the RTR version of this. Access to the battery is still that pain in the butt, same on both of these. To remove this cage, which is and I know you guys are looking at these and saying, hey, they look a lot like the SCBE or the Tenacity or the Tenacity DB Pro. And yes, this was before the SCBE, Tenacity DB Pro. This was before those vehicles came out. And this kit, and I'm not going to do it on this video, requires 16 screws to room out. And if that number doesn't sound insane to you, it is for a 1/10 scale RC. 16 screws to remove, and that also requires the shocks to be disassembled off of the cage to get this body up and off. That was the biggest pain with the assembly of this kit, is that once you went through all the work that you did with this, and if you had to adjust your mesh or adjust anything on this kit afterwards, you had to take the 16 screws apart just to get to it. And that was a big issue for me. I've only taken this out twice in its entire time. I don't drive this, which is why I'm going to consider this my shelf queen going forward, and I really wanted one to just bash around and have fun with, because I never really got a chance to do that with this one. And at this point, there's a lot of value in the kit version. A little bit here, but you definitely will see that the kit versions tend to go for a little bit more. Outside of that, you guys can see that the chassis are identical. The only thing that I am noticing is that with the chassis, it's a smooth chassis on the kit version. It's kind of like a little roughed up version. I don't know if this guy may have swapped that part out, but it is a roughed up version on the RTR. But this RTR looks really good, guys. I mean, he really did take good care of it. He told me that this was a shelf queen for him, which I was able to give him a little bit more towards it. Definitely still fell in line. The other thing that you may be noticing from this is that I do have some carbon fiber also on the kit version. As I said, this kit version is completely loaded up. Both of these buggies were run on 2S and 3S. This comes completely, the body panels come completely clear. You must paint it up on your own. No electronics are included on this one as well. It was strictly when I say strictly a kit, I mean strictly a kit. There is nothing included on this at all. There were two versions of this kit version. They re-released it with the better plastics, and I believe this was, when I looked at my model at the time, is the second version of this kit with the better plastics on here. Weight wise, because of all the bits and pieces that I have on this kit, there is a weight difference. If I had to say, maybe about 2 to 3 pounds difference between the two. This has some serious girth to it. It does feel planted in your hands. Outside of that, I'm really looking forward to getting the ready to run version out. Want to see what this is going to do. I've only driven it around the house at the current time of this video to see what it was like, and I really do enjoy how this was moving around. So my next steps is to get this out, get it into some dirt, and bash this around. I'm not going to bash it hard, as I said. This is a discontinued RC, so I will run it, but I'm not going to drive it too hard where I'm taking it off the ramps and launching it. I'll probably just mainly just rip this around, find some dirt spots to get some rooster tails out on this, but I definitely want to get this out and rip this around and have some fun with it. But that's it, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram for our latest posts to the channel. This is Ready Set RC, signing out. Thanks again, guys.